G'day Junior Techies and welcome to this video where we're going to be looking at our bonus examination questions in our preparation for our final exams. Thanks for joining me. I'm Mr. P. I'm taking you through a few questions with regards to meiosis. We're going to have a look at how we practice these to make sure that we are prepared for our final exams. So here we're looking very quickly at question 9. Okay, we see a diagram below showing crossing over. This is all in the context of the question, and this is crossing over in a pair of homologous chromosomes. And this means homologous chromosomes are chromosomes that have the same genes, the same locus from the centromere, they have the same size and shape, which means when we look at the karyotype of a human being, these are the ones that are going to be one of the specific pairs of the 23 pairs that we're looking at. So the only two that don't really do any crossing over, not really, is the gonosomes, but so we're looking here at our homologous chromosomes. So without getting into too much detail around that, let's see what the questions are going to be requiring of us here. But remember, always we get context first. So before we look at question 9.1, let's look at the diagram. We can see that crossing over is taking place at point X, and then when we look at point Z, it's pointing towards the join, the connection between the two chromatids of the same chromosome in this homologous pair. So that would be our centromere there. All right, so let's have a look now. Question 9.1 says to us that identify point X and Y respectively. Now you'll see while I've been reading through here, I've highlighted certain areas on these chromosomes, but I'm going to refer to those in a little bit. So point X, we've already said, is the chiasma. That's the point of crossing over, point of contact. So that figurative high five that these chromosomes give each other to exchange some genetic material, so that the end of the day, the function of meiosis is fulfilled in that the gametes will be genetically unique from one another. So looking at X, we've got chiasma, and then Z is our centromere, as we said a few minutes ago. All right, 9.2. Okay, give one observable reason why the chromosomes above are regarded as homologous. Now, you'll see those purple lines that I have drawn on these chromosomes. Those are representative of genes. Now, each of these homologous chromosomes have the same genes at the same locus from the centromere. Now, we can't actually see that on the image that was given to us. But I've highlighted it there for a specific reason, because it says here, give one observable reason. Now, in our diagram that we were given in this question, those genes we cannot see. I've colored them in, but in the diagram, I cannot see that. So when they talk about an observable reason for this pair to be regarded as homologous, we need to refer to something else. So we can't say that they have the same genes at the same locus from the centromere, because that's not something that is observable in the image that I'm given. But what is observable? Right? So these over here are observable. So I see I haven't written in the answers here, so I'm going to quickly write those answers in for the chiasma and the centromere. So let's have a look here. So what is observable here is that they have the same size and the same shape. What is also observable is that these two chromosomes are in fact crossing over. So we could include that as an observable reason that these are homologous, because homologous chromosomes do engage in the crossing over of in prophase 1 of meiosis. So we could use that as an observable reason as well. But the same size and the same shape, that's definitely observable for us here. I don't think many of us would have written down the fact that they're actually crossing over, and this is evidence of them being homologous chromosomes. Okay, so let's look now at the next question, 9.3. Give one reason why crossing over is important. So without wasting time here, we have the exchange of genetic material, which is going to increase genetic diversity in the offspring. Now, this is super important, because we have the production of recombinant offspring that is genetically diverse, and this is going to increase the chances of survival of this specific species should anything happen that changes the environmental conditions that could impact on the ability to survive of some individuals of this species. I mean, some would have the potential to survive because they have a different genetic makeup, or that diversity results in the ability to survive where others wouldn't. Okay, let's have a look at our next question here. So name one other process other than crossing over that adds to the importance. So here we know they are talking about the random arrangement of chromosomes during meiosis. So crossing over would add to genetic diversity with the exchange of genetic material between these homologous chromosomes, but also the random arrangement of these chromosomes when they divide into the different gametes at the end of the day. The next question, 9.5, is a nice question as well. If a mouse egg cell has 20 chromosomes, how many chromosomes would there be in a skin cell? So this is basically asking us, we have a gamete with 20 chromosomes. What would the number of chromosomes be in a somatic cell of the same organism? So if we have a look and we do our calculations, we get to an answer of 40 in total, or 23 pairs. So if we have an egg cell with n number of chromosomes, it means that any somatic cell of the same organism would have 2n, which would mean 2 times n, and that gives me my 40, which in actual fact means 23 pairs if we look at the context in which meiosis takes place. All right, so I hope that this has helped junior tuckies in a bit of analysis of questions, how to answer specific questions. I know that this question is worth 6 marks, but we don't want to lose any marks at the end of the day when we're answering these questions. So do practice a couple more of these questions and join me for a few more videos on the Junior Tuckies website so that we can make sure that you are as prepared as you can be for your final exams. Thanks so much.